So I, like a lot of you guys, am very intrigued by Starfield. I, of course, try very hard to avoid hype because I believe hype makes you stupid, which is why I sell a t-shirt on my merch store, lukestevens.tv.com, with this slogan. However, I do think it is fair to be very intrigued by this newest game from a very well-accomplished developer in the form of Bethesda Game Studios. But there's been one claim made by Todd Howard, by everybody else involved in the marketing of this game, which has always sat strangely with me, and that is with regards to the creation engine 2. You see, time and time again over the last decade or so, when polled, gamers routinely agree that the biggest change they hope to see in the next Bethesda Game Studios title is a brand new engine. I've done this on my live streams, and I've also done it in sorted Google Forms surveys that I've done throughout the years, where I've asked you guys, what would you like to see changed in the next BGS game? And uniformly, people always rate the engine as their #1 requested change. And this is because Bethesda games are notoriously buggy and unstable. I mean, I was watching like a clip from IGN where one of the reporters said that what they most look forward to in Bethesda games, and specifically Starfield, are the bugs. Like, they're not even excited for features or gameplay or story or narrative. They're primarily interested and excited for the things that go wrong with the game, which at that point, like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? To me, that's like saying, oh, my favorite TV show is Breaking Bad. I don't really watch the show. I just love the commercials. Like, dude, you're doing it wrong. Well, regardless, with the promise of a brand new engine in the form of Creation Engine 2, there are discussions of improved AI, much improved graphics, scope improvements, which allow them to generate entire planets for you to explore, and of course, stability improvements along with bug fixes. So I hear you, what's the big deal? What's the problem? Why is this even a topic of conversation? Well, I want to deep dive a little bit into what the Creation Engine 2 even is, because I've seen plenty of people, YouTubers and viewers alike, casually dismissing the possibility of extreme bugs or performance issues, validating your hype as a result of that conclusion, simply by asserting, well, it's a brand new engine, it's the Creation Engine 2, therefore the bugs won't be a problem. All those things that have made Bethesda games so unique and identifiable with their bugs, that isn't anything you have to worry yourself with anymore, because it's all fixed, brand new engine, it's not going to be a problem. Now, from what I can tell, the first time it was confirmed clearly that there was going to be a new engine was in this tweet from June 13th, 2021, over 2 years ago. And in it, they simply say Starfield will be our first game to use Creation Engine 2. We've spent years developing it to power the next generation of immersion and exploration. Ooh la la. And in the replies, you can immediately see why this is a big deal. This guy, Ram Capel, says, this is actually great news. Morrowind, Skyrim, Fallout 4, and the others were all basically in the same engine, which is an effing joke. Knowing that Elder Scrolls 6 will be in a more technically capable engine is reassuring, to say the least. And you can see the rest of the replies are generally very, very positive because people think it's a brand new engine. But I want to be clear about something. If this is in fact a brand new engine with all new capabilities and tool sets, then yes, it would cause reason to be excited, because Fallout 4 showed its age with the engine in a lot of ways, especially Fallout 76 also showed its age and difficulties with performance, let's say. So to see that a new engine could be a play is certainly reason for excitement. However, no matter where you look, the more you dig into this claim that the Creation Engine 2 is a brand new engine, the more you will find that this is simply an iteration upon the Creation Engine that they've slapped a number 2 on. You know what, to demonstrate this, I'm gonna use MS Paint, here we go. When we talk about iterative improvements, what we're saying is in 2018, if the Creation Engine was capable of all this, if you think of this as like a bar graph of possibilities, starting at 0, this engine can do absolutely nothing, but stretching all the way over here, it's capable of amazing stuff, and as we get further, it can do more and more and more. If we take Bethesda at their word based on what they say in more technical interviews, such as this interview and discussion that Todd Howard did with Develop Brighton Digital 2020. It's a really interesting interview. I recommend you watch it. There's a lot of interesting tidbits in here, but in here he goes into a little bit more detail as to what they actually upgraded with the engine and what that looks like. Or this one, which is more recent, where Todd Howard talked to the kind of funny Xcast guys and went into a ton of detail with regards to the game and the engine improvements, all sorts of stuff. Also recommend you check that one out. If you take all of his statements, what is described is an iterative improvement where they took the creation engine of 2018. They removed some stuff. So they went in here, they cut out this bloat that maybe caused some bugs or just was outdated, whatever it may have been. And then they went in and they added some new stuff here, which improves the capabilities and is certainly an improvement. It moves it further along this graph to the right. It has more capacity to do awesome stuff. However, all of this is still the same creation engine as before. It's an iterative improvement. It's just like if you were to renovate an old rundown house, and then you add in new floors, you change out the paint and the fixtures, you maybe swap out a toilet or two, and you replace the roof. At the end of the day, you're left with a house that people will see and go, wow, it looks like new. But they have to say it looks like it's new. Not that it is new, because it's not. It's still the same old house as before. It's just been polished and refined and improved, but it's still the same skeleton as before. In the same way, if I take my car and I swap out the tires so that now it has winter tires and is capable of driving in the Colorado snow much better, I could look at that and be like, oh, it's a new car. It's like, no, it's an improvement to the car that was there. It's certainly better now for the situation at hand, but it's still the same car. It just has new capabilities because of that upgrade we made. And this might just sound like it's semantics, because frankly, it is semantics. But the reason why that matters is because you have to remember, these companies are not your friend, okay? They're not your buddy. They're not your friend from high school. Even though you've spent hundreds or thousands of hours enjoying their products, they are not looking out for your best interests. They're trying to sell you a product for $70 or to get you to sign up for Game Pass or whatever else. That's what they want you to do. And so they're going to say what they need to say to get you hyped and excited to the point where you say, I'm gonna pre-order the collector's edition. I'll get that weird watch thing that they're selling. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sign up for 12 months of Game Pass right now so that I'm covered. And you better believe if a stupid YouTuber like me is aware that the biggest concern consumers had was whether or not the engine was going to be improved, Bethesda heard that as well and made it a centerpiece of their marketing plan to pitch the Creation Engine 2 as a huge transformative update and a brand new engine. It's a 2. It's not the new Creation Engine, it's Creation Engine 2. It's totally different, when in reality, it's just an iterative improvement like we've seen with other games. All of this to say, the Creation Engine 2 does represent an incremental improvement to the engine that we had with Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. Certainly. There will be things that this engine does which the previous engine couldn't do. That's true. Better global illumination. They have better procedural generation tech, which allows them to have these bigger maps and things. There's new animation systems. All of that is great, but it's still the Creation Engine, okay? So don't go and like dismiss all concerns and shed all worry because some YouTuber trying to hype you up for this game told you, well, it's Creation Engine 2, so bugs won't be a problem now. No, it's still the same Bethesda, and it's at its core the same engine. It's just been improved with some new bells and whistles, and the number 2 slapped on it is simply a marketing gimmick. I can't believe this is like something I have to make a video on because it is like so painfully obvious. But when we get in the realm of hype, it makes you stupid. It makes people put blinders on and ignore very clear marketing tactics and ploys designed to get you more hyped for the game, even though they sort of fudge the truth and blur the lines of what is real and what isn't. And dude, the thing that makes it all the more frustrating is that Bethesda basically stole your money just 5 short years ago with Fallout 76. That game was so horrible it warranted class action lawsuits that, my understanding, some of which are still going on today. There's so much crap tied up with their last release that was so horrible and so deceptive and manipulative that it's still working its way through the court system in various countries around the planet. So I don't understand why people are so willing to just immediately give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, well, but Todd said it's like a brand new engine, so it's gonna be okay now. So I believe Todd. Like, why? He lied to you just like a few years ago and took your money. Like, why are you not upset about it? It's so baffling to me. I don't know what to do about it. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. However, before I wrap this up, I will say that I do think there is reason to be optimistic for the performance of Starfield, okay? I think this has the best chance of being a polished game that any Bethesda Game Studios game in history has had. That's still not saying much, but I do think it has the potential. And the reason for that is because it's been described that Starfield's development largely has been in-house, but Microsoft's ATG, or Advanced Technology Group, has been assisting BGS since early 2022, helping with things like console optimization and other technical difficulties that they've run into to make sure the game runs great on the Series S and X. And when we look at the gameplay that was originally released for Starfield and compare it to what we got just a month or so ago at that Starfield Direct showcase, I think they've made a good number of improvements. I thought the combat looked way better. I thought it seemed to run more stable. I thought the lighting looked better. The animations looked better. I thought across the board, it looked like they had made improvements, not downgrades, which is awesome. But listen, I feel that my place right now in the discussion of Starfield in this industry is to try and talk people down off the cliff a little bit so that if it launches and is another Fallout 76 situation, they don't have their hearts broken. Because I know what that's like. It's happened with me. It happened with me with Fallout 4 and in large part with Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm sure is something a lot of people can relate to. And so while it may seem as though I'm just coming in here to try and rain on the parade and get you all bummed out, that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is to simply return some broader perspectives to this discussion with Starfield, a game which people are really, really excited about, so that we don't get stupid because we're getting so hyped. You know, it's okay to look at a game and be like really excited and interested in it without getting to the point of delusional, irrational hype. I think you can go down to the comment section of this video and you'll probably see a good number of people that didn't get more than 2 minutes into this video, left their comments and bailed, which is funny because like I still get the view either way, so it didn't really harm me at all. Like, thanks for the engagement, bros. But those people are not interested in hearing a perspective that is not directly in line with theirs. It's something that happens all the time when people get really hyped for a game. They just want to hear people continue to hype them up and continue to reaffirm their bias and their predestined conclusion. And that's just not what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna just tell you what you want to hear because it's what's popular or trending on Reddit. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and if it's a stupid opinion, you get to make fun of me. And if your opinion's stupid, I get to make fun of you. Like, that's rule 101 of the internet. We get to tease each other if we're being stupid, and I think that's great. But you know what I also think is great? People who subscribe to this channel and who watch these videos all the way through, which is apparently you. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for making my dreams a reality. This is not possible without you guys watching and supporting me. So truly, truly thank you. And with all that, I'm going to go. Much love. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.